I haven't eaten, so I gotta eat something. I'm in the Arbys drive-thru. That deep fried turkey doesn't look too bad. I wonder how much it is. I bet it's a ridiculous price. It's like fast food has gotten so expensive. It's like it's not a cheap alternative anymore. It isn't. It's a fucking joke. It's like, you know, if I had time, I'd go eat Chinese food. At least it'd be halfway decent.
Nice to meet you. Please order when you are ready. What can we make fresh for you?
Yeah, could I have a regular roast beef and a small potato cake? And I guess give me a small Coke too, please.
I have a glass of roast beef, a small potato cake, and a small Coke. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Alrighty, your total $57.66. Thank you. Please 5.
Thanks. They do make a euro here. They do. But if I said, give me a euro, they're going to say, oh, you mean the gyro? That's what they'll say. I got Remy on my shoulder. See the windows down? Remy's not going anywhere. This fucking amazes people that, like, well, why doesn't the bird, like, fly away? Does your dog, when you let it out, does it run away? Oh, bad question. I bet most of you all that see this, your dog doesn't listen. Your dog isn't well behaved. Let's roll down the window all the way. It's the same thing. If you're not going to train the animal, you're going to have problems. People want to have a pet, but they do not want to train it. It's absurd. It's absurd. I bet the majority of people, if you let your dog out off of a leash and open the door, your dog isn't going to listen to you, is it? Well, there you go. So don't ask a stupid question about Remy. Where would Remy, where would you go? She says nowhere. There's any place that I'm at, that's where she wants to be, right? See? That's an affirmation when she's doing that. That is like saying yes, right? See? She's one of my favorite people. She's fucking awesome. Look at her. I've had so many people, like, I'll be going through the drive-thru and people have, you know, that work in the drive-thru, they'll be like, oh, look, cool, a bird. How come it doesn't fly away? You know? Like in Brooklyn, I'm walking with Remy into the building like this. People are fucking flipped out. Like, why doesn't your bird fly away? I've had her fly over to the door and shit like that, but, you know. It's not flying away. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Any Arby horse or ketchup?
Arbys and horsey, please. Remy. You know what bothers me the most is Taco Bell, because Taco Bell, you have to ask for the sauce. It's also here too. If you don't ask for the sauce,
$12.34.
they're not gonna give it to you. It's absurd. It's like, how much money do these corporations make? Just throw the shit in the bag. You know? Maybe I'll want it. Maybe I'll want to use it for later. I bet Jinian has a whole supply of stuff like that at home.
Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Jinian will eat fucking fast food. Like, she has no problem with it. I'm like, what are you eating? Well, you know. She likes Wendy's. I'm sure that she'll do an Arbys. She said that she'd do Taco Bell if she doesn't want one around her, you know. I don't think Jinian's diet is real good. I don't think it's as good as mine. I eat so well. No, I'm joking. My diet is pretty shitty. Jinian's is probably better. Jinian likes comfort food, but like strange comfort food. Like she likes butter. She likes butter a lot. Like, she told me that she had rice with butter. That's what she said, rice with butter. And I'm like, really? But she is true. Butter's good on everything. Like, this is something I think that she did, and she told me about it, or maybe I did it, but I think she's the first one that did it. Like peanut butter sandwich or peanut butter on a cracker, but first you put on butter just to make the peanut butter even better. I mean, butter? Come on, man. I'll eat that out of the tub. Just have a stick of it. I'll take a bite. It's fucking cheese, isn't it? Oh, look at what we have here. It's a fucking seagull looking, mooching for food. That's what they do here. That's what they do. I'm not into feeding wildlife, really. I mean, I am at my house. I'm using a bird feeder for the winter, but we're fucking 250 miles from the ocean, and there's seagulls in the Midwest too. It's weird. Like, they're a bitchin' bird. I mean, yeah, that he's cool. I mean, he could definitely live at my house if he wanted to. I would not care. You know, look at him. It's cool looking. I feel guilty, like I should give him something, but I don't have really anything appropriate to give him other than, like, you know, what, white bread from the sandwich? That's not gonna be healthy. Come on. Go, bird, go find. Why? This is an example. Like, why would he not just wait for somebody to give him food? Why is he gonna go eat what would be healthy and natural? He's not. He's just sitting there waiting. He knows sooner or later. When I pulled up, there was a truck up here, a pickup truck, and there were a flock of them. And there was a girl, you know, feeding them. So they're over there in Walmart. I see them. If I start feeding this guy, they're instantly gonna fucking know, and they're gonna come over here. Why are they gonna eat natural food? Listen, I'm feeding the yard birds. I'm feeding the songbirds over the winter. That's true. But in the summer, I'm gonna stop. You don't have to feed, except for the hummingbirds. I will get a hummingbird feeder, but you don't have to feed those birds in the summer. The blue jays, fuck them. I'm gonna grow sunflowers again. They can eat those. It's the truth. I feel bad that you know, he's just sitting here waiting, and I'm not gonna give him shit. I'm not. Birdhouse is finished, almost finished, completely finished. That I made out of a vegetable crisper drawer from a refrigerator. In my next video, I'm going to show everybody how to make this. It's very easy. You don't have to use the vegetable crisper, but if you see an old refrigerator and they have, you can pull it. That's what I did. You could use anything as far as a box goes. I'll show you how to put a hole in something like this. It's very simple. This probably will take, in the next video, probably about 2.5 minutes to construct. It's very simple, very, very simple. With this type of birdhouse, you could put it anywhere. I'm making one of these for the back of the barn, and it's going to be painted brown. It'll be for starlings. This in particular, this is a hole a starling would go in, but I'm sort of making it for brown sparrows. And it could go on the side of a house like this. Very, very simple. Very simple. You know, all you have to do is put some drywall screws on. That's it. It's good to go. If you want to hang it on a window, which you can because it's got a hollow back, that's how I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put on 5-pound suction cups, you know, that you get at Home Depot on each corner. And that should be plenty. And then even to make sure that the suction cups don't move, you know, you don't want this falling off or anything when the bird has eggs in it, when they have eggs in it, or the babies are in it. I might even just tack it in place using a little crazy glue. But this is a birdhouse that is very, very simple to make. You could use anything to make it. Like I said, I used a vegetable crisper for this. And it's sort of, if I had it here on the wall, it's not going to really be that much of an eyesore, and I might put it here, but I was sort of thinking about putting it on a window. Now you want to do this before spring. I'm doing this in the fall. If they want to start using them early, that's great too. I'm fine with it. I have a tribe of sparrows that live up there underneath my soffit, and they're going to have to start using the birdhouses that I give them because that's going to be fixed. They're not going to have a choice. Now this is another birdhouse that I made that didn't take any time to make. I probably spent in total 45 minutes on this. I made it out of just stuff that was lying around the house, honestly, just a lot of materials that I had sitting around. And what I did was so that I could put it up on the house on a corner easier, I added this section in here. This is just some, aluminum flashing that I put on the birdhouse so that I have something to, screw onto with the drill. If I didn't, I could have still put it on and still go in the house, but I'd probably have to do something like put a bead of like construction adhesive here, like I don't know, any of them would work as long as it had a real high tack. It doesn't have to have a real high tack. You could put it on there and then tape the birdhouse into position and take the tape off 24 hours later. It'd be dry and it would hold. But this way it just ensures too that it's not going to fall off. So if you're going to make something like this, whatever the birdhouse is, make sure that it's not going to come off with the eggs in it or the babies are in it. So I'm gonna put this up right now. I'm gonna put it on this corner. I'm putting it on this corner facing this way. I made this in particular for this part of the house because I want it facing this way, because when the babies come out, they have more of a tendency to go to the front yard. If they go to the backyard, that's where a bunch of dogs are. I don't want a baby bird getting hurt. There's no way. So I'm gonna put this thing up right now. I have to go around to the other side and put a screw in, but it's pretty much up. That's where it's gonna sit. And the one thing that's really important that you gotta know if you're gonna make a birdhouse is the size of the hole is very important. This is for a brown sparrow. You want it about 2 inches. It's 2.5 inches, it's too big. You don't want predators to be able to get in it, number one. So you don't make it real big, especially with like these lower ones. Don't make it too big. The other thing that's real important to know is that you want it up at a certain height. There's no way any cat or anything's going to be able to get in this. A raccoon, it would be very, very difficult, I would think. Maybe they could from that, but the problem being is that my yard smells like canines. There's nothing coming in my yard. This is essentially my yard. It's right by here, so predators have a tendency to stay away. I mean, there's always some dog here marking territory. My neighbors have dogs. It would be highly unlikely anything like that would happen concerning a raccoon, but they just don't come around here. Honestly, how often do I see a skunk? Pretty much never. They know better. It's the same thing as like a coyote trying to come in my yard. Are you kidding me? It'd be a bad place for a coyote to come in. It would. Not that I think it's totally safe, but they'd have a tendency to go someplace else. My neighbor has no fence and like a chickens out there. That's where it's going to go. It's not going to go to the yard that is full of predators. There's just a bunch of shit in here. There's insulation over here. There's like some artwork that when I first moved, I bought this place 13 years ago. I moved some artwork up here. Most of it went in the barn, but then towards the front it got too packed. So I threw some flat work in here. I never did anything with this area. I had a leaking roof over there. It was always a mess. So now I want to, do something to it. This is a wasted space. It's pretty large. It's probably 700 square feet, something like that. And then it goes down to the basement. This wall right here, this is the bathroom. And then on the other side of this is a pantry. So I'm looking over here. There's always been like this like kind of like it's like a large closet. That's how it's like a large closet, I guess, without a door. It's just a space. You could utilize it for. I was gonna put the insulation. There's a bunch of insulation over there. I was just gonna throw it back here for right now. Okay. And I've always noticed that it's insulated on both sides because I'm sure that this part, there was no insulation. I think I started throwing this up when I first bought this place, and then I didn't do anything to this place for years. But this was here too. They had this up. So this stuff is also on the back side of my bathroom. And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? What's the purpose of this? This isn't necessary anymore. The whole house is heated. So I'm like, this that goes to the bathroom and the pantry. I'm like, well, I'm going to pull this off. So I pull this off. And look at what I got underneath it. Fucking more beautiful wood. Hang on, let me see if I can pull this off. And this is really beautiful. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do to it. I'm probably going to use a little hydrogen peroxide on it. Clean it up a little bit. Maybe oil it. Right before I oil it, maybe lightly sand it with a, like a orbital sander or something like that. But real light, like maybe take a minute or two on each board, if even that. Just run over it real fast and then maybe tongue oil. Maybe wax, I don't know. Maybe a more modern product, I'm not sure. You know, something so it retains a sort of real natural. God damn, man. So that's where we were over there, right? And right now I'm at the steps going down to my fucking basement, right? But then there's like this, but then there's modern roof. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that roof is not that old. That's not old at all. They just threw it on top from like the crown of the old roof. They sort of, you know? It's very strange. This whole section, this whole mudroom section, this whole area here, this is all just added on. They incorporated what appears to be an old barn. Maybe that was the front of the house. Like there might have been a stable, a barn, and then like what we're looking at here, right here. Then there might have been like some really small house attached, and then they built a normal house in the front. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts. It's like there's 4 different construction periods with this property. Like, obvious. Maybe 5. And they just sort of... This is the strangest area. It's just like, they didn't even bother to... They had the roof. Like, they put the roof up, but then they left part of the old building. I have all this to work with, too, because this... None of this needs to be here. It doesn't. I can take this down, and I can incorporate this somewhere too. Something new. I had to get batteries for one of the dog bark collars that I use. I haven't been using it lately, but it's just been sitting around because I don't have a battery for it. It takes a battery, one of these. And just telling the Walmart guys, some of the batteries they lock up because I guess they use lithium to make meth or something. I didn't fucking know that. Really? It's a good reason not to be doing math. They're making them using batteries? That doesn't sound good. I'm looking for tea, and I noticed that Red Bull has a new flavor out, Plum Twist. I have to try it. I mean, I'm just gonna try it. They don't have any other new ones out, do they? Oh, they have tangerine? No, I've had tangerine before. I thought that was orange. No, I guess it's tangerine. Well, I'll get a couple of these just to make sure that they're okay. I mean, maybe this is a bad batch, and I'll take a drink and find out it's a bad batch, and then I can replace it. I'm not kidding it. This is a pound. This is almost $7, right? And then it's a pound too. It says 3. I'll get this for sure. You know, all of these like cooked like products at Walmart, the cooked meat. These really aren't that bad. Like they have a St. Louis style ribs. Those are pretty good. They're all pretty good. Okay, here's a new product. I've never seen it. Here's the Szechuan chicken lo mein. I'll try that. And I don't want anything sweet and sour. No, I'll try the chicken fried rice too. Just be easy. Throw it in a pan, heat it up. I'm done. How could it be bad? Well, it could be. It could be. People make excuses for not giving their dog raw diet. One of the more common one is I don't want to give them chicken from the store because it's full of antibiotics, right? Purdue and Tyson, they don't use antibiotics. They don't. The chickens, they're only like a year and a half or a month and a half, 2 months old when they're killed. There are no antibiotics. It says it right on it. If you want to use the excuse of, well, I have to use free-range chicken, you're just making excuses. Brioche looks great, but I've been gaining weight lately, so no, I'm not eating it. The asshole that censored me, like, what was it, 2 years ago? It was right when Trump was elected, that censored me in the photo department. She's management. She, about a year later, then she told me that I couldn't shoot video. Like, how's she even know I'm shooting video? I could be FaceTiming with somebody. I told her to get away, right? Get away from me. You can't tell me what to do. Look at my hair. Fucking Rob Blagojevich or some shit. I didn't want to go to Walmart today because if I go to Walmart, I'm going to spend some money. I didn't spend a fortune, but I did spend about $100. It was all stuff I'm going to use. I mean, it's all like food for the dogs, you know, stuff like that. Food for me. I got to eat. The batteries were for those collars were about $11. That was just like, but without a battery, you know, what's the sense of having a bark collar that doesn't work? It doesn't work. So if I need it, it sucks. I woke up this morning and I instantly ripped down all this insulation that was here because I was like, fuck it, what, you know, what's underneath it? And I have more wood. See what I mean? It's like, it looks like a barn or the outside of a house. There's several areas in my house like this. I don't understand this area at all. Maybe this was used to keep tack in or something. I don't know. There's a window here. So this right over here, this is my bathroom. Okay? And it has, I don't know if you can tell, but this is all wood here. And then, you know, so it's pretty much just like this little area. Here's some kind of window. I don't get it. I just don't understand the areas that look like they're sort of the outside. I get that the kitchen was probably a barn or a stable, both. But like this is sort of strange. Now, over this, on the outside of this, is siding. I'm sure they put some kind of sheeting down. And then, yeah, you know, see, they had plywood up there. And then they put siding up when they built onto this building here. So I don't have any problem with taking down the insulation because you have wood going this way, then you have wood going this way, and then you have wood going this way. Then you have tar paper, then you have plywood, then you have the siding. So it's like, you know, like this really is pretty well insulated. There's probably no drafts coming in here, and there aren't. So I'm like thinking, like, what the fuck did they have this little, like, almost closet area? Why did they have, like, aluminum and it insulated? Once again, I think they were growing weed here. This, I'm assuming, maybe during the winter it got real cold down there. They might have kept stuff growing up here, which still would have been pretty cold. But definitely it's big enough for a couple plants. I'm sure that's what was being done, and they were using artificial lighting. That's my guess. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Why would you? This is indoors. I'm not saying that it would be real warm here. There's no duct or anything going to this area. But it wouldn't be beneficial to just insulate this, like this box. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like they were growing weed up here too. I'm pretty sure this was a smaller grow room. Couple plants, or maybe you had the babies here, and then when the babies, maybe you move them downstairs. So the bathtub's right here, but, I got that rust problem, and I'm thinking I might be able to do something that would be better or easier to deal with rust, possibly doing a shower. This could be like a shower, or the shower could just be one big area. Now, the only problem being is that I kind of want to keep this. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's hideous looking. It doesn't have to be hideous looking. It doesn't. A window's going here, definitely. Now, the over on the other side of this are Arctic kiwis. But I pushed them away from the house, and I would still get some light in here. It would be totally beneficial. There's nothing even on this wall here, no type of door, no type of light. So if I could do in an hour and a half. Cut this out, right? Frame it and throw a window in it. No problem. That's definitely going to happen. Definitely. But right here, since the bathtub's right here, the bathtub could be removed. The drain could stay where it's at. I could have a shower like maybe here, right? Now, the only thing of it is I am going to deal with this. It is not going to look like this. The wood will stay in place. It will. It'll stay here. But you can't get you can't get it wet. I use cement board for this wall. Behind this, at some point, I start taking the wood off and going through the layers. I'll hit cement board. So, I could treat the wood some way. No, it'll still always get water on it. It won't work. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Let me think about it. The winter edition, Plum Twist by Red Bull. How could it be bad? It's a Red Bull product, right? I mean, it could be good. I should try it before I'm like saying it's good. Let's see what it's like. Oh, interesting. It reminds me of fucking Kool-Aid. Punch. It smells like Punch Kool-Aid. That's what it smells like, I swear to God. And that's sort of what it tastes like, too. That's weird. Yeah, it has a real... It lingers. It's a berry taste that lingers, not unlike Kool-Aid. Its effervescentness is the same as the other Red Bull products. Not a whole lot. It's an adult type of drink. Kids, stay away from this. You wouldn't want to drink this, kids. You'd be running around all fast and everything. Staying up, studying. Don't drink this, kids. This is not a soda for children. This is a soda for adults. Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. I can taste the caffeine in it. It's pretty good. Like, it's not overpowering. It's right there. I think I just jizzed in my pants. It's pretty good. Yeah, it really reminds me of Kool-Aid, punch flavored Kool-Aid. It smells so good. Delish. that's my cockatoo Peaches, right? She was a plucker. She doesn't pluck anymore, but she's never going to be able to grow feathers because she damaged her skin. She was plucking so bad. I got her, knock it off, Solar. I got her from a pet store when she was plucking just because they weren't doing anything for her. So I bought her. She's lived with me. And so that's Peaches, my cockatoo. Behind her, that is Solarton, my son, my pigeon baby that I had with Remy, my pigeon. And, well, you know, it's my kid. I held the egg at times, keeping it warm. So that would be my son. That's Solarton. Say hello, Solarton. Solarton's a little over a year old now. But Solarton and his lady had PMV virus. And then the other day, I was thinking that his lady, Optimus, was having a bout of the PMV virus, which it sort of makes him like bad at landing. She was having trouble eating food. It could have been something else. She could have... No, I'm pretty sure it was it. So I've heard that some birds that get PMV, it'll reoccur, so I believe that that's what she's having. So she's up. So Solarton doesn't have anything to do because his lady's not around, so he's like, wants to, I think, start a fight with Peaches, and that'd be a huge mistake. I mean, a huge mistake. See, Solarton does not get it. Like, that, you can't fight that. Peaches is like a little, you're like a dinosaur, but she is. Look at the beak on her. That thing is used for climbing. You know, his beak is made for picking up seeds. It's useless compared to that. You know, she has the claws that she can use as hands. Solarton does not. Solarton has some claws, but not. He can't lift something up in his claws and put it in his mouth. Peaches, if I gave her a chicken bone, she can have it in her hand. And it looks like she has a little club in her hand. You know, I'm not saying that Solarton's a dummy. He's not. He's very smart. Pigeons are very smart, but his body doesn't function the same as Peaches. Peaches, like these birds, like parrots, they're expert climbers. That's what she's about. They're about climbing. Yeah, they can fly, but they can't fly straight up like Solarton. Pigeons can fly straight up. They're completely different. They're completely different, but they're both just different. But Solar cannot get in a fight with Peaches and come out anything but dead. Seriously, there's no way. I'm being serious, Solar. Don't mess with Peaches. There's just no way. But Peaches had her beak is a vice grip. You know, his is like for pecking. He can't grab anything with that. She could grab Solar by the neck, or I've heard of, I know a cockatoo that got another cockatoo's wing, ripped the wing off, and then, you know, the other bird, it didn't make it. It died. So, you know, you have to, I got to monitor the situation. I'm explaining to Solar right now. I'm telling him, like, he's young, you know? He's young. Don't mess with Peaches under any circumstance. You know, he's picking it up. Yesterday, he thought he was gonna do it. Like some kind of dominance thing with Peaches, and it's absurd. Peaches is a totally different species. She's no threat to you, Solarton.
Solarton! Solar! It's the peach tree.
So I got my tape measure out. I thought something seemed strange, and something is strange. And that's that there is another room behind this. There's an area that would be big enough for a human to live in. Something like that. Like, not being comfortable, but about half the size of this. So it'd be like 4 feet and probably the same size. I can't believe that there's a hidden room in my house. I'm gonna have to get in there and see what's in there. Seriously, that is weird. I don't know. I was told when I bought this house that this house was on the, the Underground Railroad. That's what I was told. I was told that there is maybe this is what they were talking about, that there was an area in this house supposedly that's it. I just want to make one thing perfectly clear, that if I go in this wall here, I figure out where the latch is that turns it into a secret door. I open it up and there's a bunch of bats in there. I'm running out. Anything else I'll be fine with. But bats, I will scream like a little girl. I don't like bats. They're filthy. They got rabies. They get stuck in your hair. You'll get scratched. You'll have to get the rabies shot. I just took Ike to the vet, so now I'm gonna go to Tops to get some root beer because they have a brand of root beer that I like. It's pretty good. It's Australian owned. For some reason, I think that it might be bottled in the UK. Maybe brewed in Australia, but then bottled in the UK. Something like that. But it's an unusual tasting soda. It would not be... You can't really compare it to an American root beer. It's not even close. I'll review it. Let me get a 4-pack of it. I think they sell it in a 4-pack. I'm gonna see if they have sticky buns here because they definitely don't make them at Walmart, but they might make them here. I don't see them. Nope. They have crawdads here. They're reasonably priced. It's like a big bag for $10. I'm not gonna get them. I'll get them some other time. I like the taste of mud, you know? There's no other reason that anybody would want to eat one of those. They do. They taste like mud. This root beer, it's unusual. It does not taste American, that's for sure. It's a nice change. It's a brewed root beer, which none of these other ones are, I don't think. They have quite a few, but I don't think any of them are brewed. They do have one that seems to be a Gene Simmons. I'm not kidding you, a Gene Simmons root beer. That's these up here with the money bag on them. I looked at the label. The label, it just looks like soda with a fancy label, so I am not gonna get it. This might not be a bad root beer. This one, I think I've had that. I think that's pretty good. Don't get Saranac root beer. No, not good, not good. Really like a poor soda. I want the root beer, but I'm not waiting in a line. There's no way. I'm not in Brooklyn. There's no need for this. There's huge lines everywhere. If they don't have an express lane, I'm out of here. Seriously, I am not gonna fucking wait. I'm not gonna fucking wait. They need to hire more people. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I wanted the root beer, but I don't want it that bad. One product and I'm gonna stand there, you know? No. Hire more people. That sucks. I'm fucking pissed. Still want root beer, so I'm gonna go to Dandy. Dandy will have root beer. They have Stewart's root beer, which is pretty good. I mean, it's totally an American tasting root beer, but it is a premium. So I get one of those. I know it sounds insane that I don't want to wait. Is that insane that I don't want to wait in line? Come on, I learned that from my dad. You know, I remember my dad saying, "Put the stuff down, let's go." That's where I learned it. Why are you gonna wait? You know, there's no reason to. I mean, I'll wait in a line, yes, but I'm not gonna wait in a line with one thing for 15 minutes. Forget it. An insect that can supposedly predict the winter. It's the woolly bear caterpillar. Whether it can or it can't, I don't know. It's a larger brown section. That would mean that we would have, I believe, like a milder winter, if it's more black. But you would have to have measurements from the past year. Do you see what I'm saying? So how's that gonna work? You got a little dirt on you, dude. It's got some white dirt on him. But do you see what I'm saying? But I do believe that this one does seem like it has a lot of brown on it. I believe that this is that species. I think they call it the woolly bear. They're very common. I think it's a type of moth. I could look it up what it actually is. I don't know if its actual name is woolly bear, but that's what they say. I even think that there was a study done by University of Missouri. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I read that someplace. Look at him. Walmart, I ran out of pork loin for Ike, and Bucket, my cat, needs meat, and so does Sam the Raven. So I'm walking by here and I'm thinking, let's check and see if they have Dickies in a size 30 this year. No, it's the same thing. All Dickies. I want a pair of these. I like the color. All Dickies at Walmart start at 32. But, oh, maybe the kids section. Let me go check. I had to buy a belt in the kids section last week. Maybe it's just, they all start at 32. What's up with that? I mean, a 30 waist? Come on. It's a problem. No, they don't have a pair of those for kids. I guess they don't make those for kids. Come on, man. I'm a 55-year-old adult with a 30 waist. Is it really that much of a problem? A 30 waist? It's not like it's a 25 waist, you know? Do I have to gain weight? This sucks. It just sucks. Opinion doesn't admit to this, but I'm pretty sure that she's probably sitting around watching TV in one of these right now. I could see her in one. Thought it was her for a minute. I was gonna go back. I had to get up. I was out of chicken. The dogs need to eat, so I went to Walmart, got that. My plan is just to go back and lay down, which I never do. I do not have a client here. I've been working on my house, so I'm not gonna even work on the house. It's a good thing that I don't have a client here right now, because this would be downtime for me. I would still, even if I'm sick, I'll still work a dog for sure. But I don't feel like I'm giving it my all, and I can't. So that's the plan. I'll just go back and watch the political debacle that's going on in our country. It's like Steve Schmidt says, it is clearly a cold civil war that has been stoked by our president. Check out the roof on this house across the street. Check it out. It might never look this bad. Look at it. Look at that, it's covered in moss. It looks like they took some kind of plastic sheeting up there at the top. No wonder they're having problems. That roof is maybe, God, older than me. Seriously, that is a really old roof. It's a mess. I don't think I'll be coming back here to this Chinese restaurant, the Lucky Star. It was very mediocre. It was the lunch menu, so I got garlic shrimp that was just bad to look at. The taste wasn't too bad. The shrimp seemed fresh, but it wasn't so hot. Remy liked the fried rice. I gave her some. The hot and sour soup is the correct color, but it's not the correct flavor. It isn't sour. It tastes more like chicken soup or something. Steve Schmidt, I don't think that you're going to see him on Fox. You could see him on Fox, and I'm sure that you might have seen him on Fox in the past. He, I believe, worked for John McCain. He is a Republican, and he pretty much has told the Republican Party that, this is Trumpism, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. So he's pretty much out there, like, saying, don't vote Republican anymore, because it's a party, it's tribalism, and there's something wrong with the Republican Party right now. Anyway, so Steve Schmidt is an interesting character in that, like, I see, like, newscasters and people that are on the panels, like when he's talking, like, they're looking at him like he's like some kind of political savant sent from the future. And I sort of see why. He's talking about common sense about the Republican Party, and he's not like one of these guys that you would normally see as a pundit. Like, usually they're going to pick somebody that is like, I'm not saying he's unattractive. I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm just saying he's just sort of like this dude that if he was walking down the street, you would not think. He clearly is on his intellect. That's why he's being picked, is, to be a pundit, is that it has to do with his intellect. It has nothing to do with how he looks. And you see that with a lot of these people are chosen because of the way, it's their intellect and the way that they look. Him, it's all about his personality, it's all about his intellect, and that's it. So many ex-Republicans, right now, there's so many people that are just like, this is not the Republican Party. Another one that's very similar to him would be, I believe his name's Rick Wilson. Same thing. Same sort of attitude of like, you got to be kidding me. This isn't the Republican Party. It's the party of Trump. It has nothing to do with morals, values. And he too is another example of somebody that, like, they have him, they use him because of his intellect, and there is not even like a smidgen of like, oh, he, like, if you look at like most of the people that they're picking sort of are not overly attractive, but above average, especially the women. That is a consideration for TV. But Rick Wilson, oh, this sounds totally gay, doesn't it? I'm talking about how attractive a guy is, It's just a fact that's why people are picked for TV. That is a consideration. That's, you've heard that for years, like, this person's more cut. I can think of a dog trainer that is sort of known, but is sort of more appropriate for, like, he's really sort of hard on the eyes, like, God, this does sound gay, doesn't it? But it's a factor, and it's a factor because, you want somebody on TV that appears smart, right? And there is many psychological studies that are done where the more attractive person is picked. They're always picked, like in a job interview or something. And people have a tendency to think that the more attractive person is, the more symmetrical their face is, the more apt they are to be intelligent. The smarter person's always picked, even over the person with, like, credentials that are better. Why that is, I don't know, but that's what humans think, that a smarter, the better looking person is going to be smarter. But I'm telling you, when Steve Schmidt talks, sometimes they'll pan to the whole panel, and the whole panel is looking at him like, this guy is speaking the truth, and like, they're like hoping that he has some great revelation that obviously the only revelation that he has is the other one, the revelation that many Republicans, have had. I'll tell you something, the weirdest thing of it is, when Trump became president, this is the truth, but if you don't know me, I'm a Republican, and I'm not voting Republican. But when Trump first became president, I remember people like Clint Watts, what's the one dude's name, the ex-FBI guy, it doesn't matter. But all the Republican pundits that you would see on non-Fox channels like Phil Mudd, Clint Watts, all those are hardcore Republican dudes. And I was watching this, and this is the truth. When Trump was elected, I was talking to my friend, and he's just like, man, he's going to get impeached. This is not going to go well, and all those pundits like Clint Watts, they were all for Trump at that point. Phil Mudd, they were like, no, this is just the, Democrats going after him. Every one of those guys is singing a different tune now. They're singing a totally different tune. And many of them have turned their back on the Republican Party for good reason. I just remember, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like Phil Mudd was talking when he was first elected, like, oh, this is just, the Democrats trying to, you listen to Phil Mudd now, he sings a totally different tune. All of them do. Even newscasters that were hired because they're Republican out of Nicole Wallace. Do you think that she would vote for Trump? No fucking way. No fucking way would she vote for Trump now. No way. She worked in the Bush White House. No way. Why do you all think that is? There's a reason for this. I was talking to somebody the other day. They were saying Trump is the best president ever, but they can't cite any reasons why he's a great president other than they hate fucking black people and brown people. And the woman has said this many times to me. It's very easy to get her to say it too. It is. I could ask her leading questions or say leading things, and the first thing out of her mouth, it's racist. It's all racist. There's many people that I'm friends with on Facebook that back Trump, and I don't know them well enough to know if they are flat out racist. All I can go with is the people that I actually know, that I actually have either have had a telephone conversation with, or I've talked to them in person, or they're comfortable enough with me to say the shitty things. The N-word is very common. I'm just thinking well, why is there so much hate or something? And I don't know. I think that it might stem to, I'm thinking about two women in particular. Both of them are in the financial industry. So, well, maybe not the finance, but they both work with numbers, and they both have to do with numbers, and both of them can't stand anybody that isn't like them. They can't. They say horrible things. It's very racist stuff. I don't know. It is. I think Steve Schmidt is correct that we are in a cold civil war. There's a division in our country that is undeniable, and it is stoked by the President of the United States. There was styrofoam up there. This is the kitchen. There was styrofoam up there, and I did that when I first, I was living. I'd come up here on the weekends, and it was freezing. It was so cold. So I was doing whatever I could just to keep some heat in. And so I threw some styrofoam up there. It was ridiculous. It was so cold in this place, you have no idea. I would put food. I'd come up here for just a weekend. Say I went and got food. I could leave food over by the front door. Just anywhere in this in this room adjacent to the kitchen, it would stay frozen. 10 feet from the wood-burning stove, it would stay frozen. It was cold as shit. Now it's it's all sealed up. It's great. But I had foam up there. It was real ugly, so I got it down. Look, there you can still see. There's still some left, right? So I got it down. This is going to look fantastic. This is what I'm talking about. The ceiling, I don't want this covered up. That's fucking beautiful. This place is going to look great. This, the kitchen, it'll be a masterpiece. I guarantee you this is going to look amazing. It is. Like a kind of rusty relic, an old reliquary, something like that. It's got the vaulted ceiling. It's gonna look fucking hot. I'm telling you, this house, nothing special. It will be though. It's gonna look great. Why wouldn't it look cool? It will. Watch. He's wrestling with me. Look at Solar. What a good boy. He loves to wrestle around, don't you, Soul? Look at him getting me. He thinks he's tough. Solar Tin. Solar. Solar, you are so funny. Look at him, he's beating up on his dad. Alright, you win, dude. Not really. You win. Okay. Solar Tin. Look at Soul. Get it, Soul. Soul's gonna beat up on my phone. He is an aggressive little guy. He really is. He loves to play fight. Don't you, Solar? Look at him. He's a little stud. He is. He's practicing judo, pigeon judo. Right? Solar wants to wrestle someone. He's aggressive. He is a Solar is about a year old. Solar's male, and you know, he's a typical male, you know, bird. He can be, you know, he's sowing his wild oats. He's in a relationship with his sister, aren't you, Solar? She's hot though, right? She is really hot. I put this old picture I found up here, this old leaded, and Solar jumped up here, he likes it. He's claiming it as his territory. He was trying to take Peach's territory yesterday, and I explained to him that Peaches would kick his ass. She would. She said she's a different species, first of all, Solar. And she's got a big giant hook bill. You don't. Solar thinks he's tough. He does, but look at him. He's cocky. Look at who his mom is. That's his mom. You know. Solar Tin. Look at Solar. What a great boy. It's me and Remy's kid. Right, Rem? That I could have never had a kid, so a human kid. So Rem, I helped Remy hatch the egg. I held it for a while. It wasn't her egg. She doesn't have a mate. It's our kid. Solar is our kid, right, Remy? She knows. Of course she knows. It's her kid. See? See, now Solar, like when he's doing that, like he likes me. He is not afraid of me. You see what I'm saying? Like if he was afraid of me, he wouldn't be, you know, playing with my hand like that. That bird likes me a lot. Like he's always known me, man, even when he was in the egg. My house is it's coming along. Better Homes and Gardens will be showing up with a camera crew. It is. It's looking pretty amazing.